They called them the Butchers of Earth. A name that echoed through the archives of 100 empires, whispered in cautionary lectures, in hushed military halls, in the nightmares of species that had never even met a human. To most of the galaxy, it was legend. A story so drenched in violence and myth that few believed it ever truly happened. But for those who did, it was a scar carved into history. The year was 729 after first contact, and the Galactic Academy on Var'uun IX stood as the greatest center of knowledge in the Orion Arm. It was there, inside a vast amphitheater made of obsidian glass, that 1,000 alien cadets gathered for the lecture that changed everything. Their instructor, a tall, scaled veteran of the Gora Wars, entered the room carrying a data rod wrapped in black metal. The cadets fell silent. Even the air itself seemed to hold its breath. The professor spoke with reverence. "Today," he said, "we discuss the most dangerous species to ever touch the stars, humanity. The Butchers of Earth." He pressed the rod into the podium. The lights dimmed. The walls shimmered to life. Holograms flickered across the amphitheater, images of burning cities, shattered moons, and fleets annihilated in crimson fire. Entire planetary defenses crushed beneath the boots of something small, something fragile, something furious. Humans. The cadets watched in silence as the professor narrated the fall of Kara Prime. He spoke of how a single Terran platoon, trapped and outnumbered 500 to 1, fought for 9 days without sleep. When their ammunition ran out, they fought with knives. When the knives broke, they fought with their helmets. When those cracked, they used their teeth. And when the storm ended, the world was silent save for the slow march of 20 survivors. Their armor, shattered. Their bodies, broken. But their banners still standing. The professor's voice trembled. Entire species have vanished into legend. But none left fear behind like the Butchers. Then his gaze turned toward the back of the room, toward a single figure sitting quietly, hands folded, posture relaxed. A human. The cadets shifted uneasily. Humans were rare here, relics from an age the galaxy would rather forget. But this one, he was calm. Unbothered. Almost bored. The professor continued. The Butchers of Earth were a Terran unit formed during the siege of Harkos 9. Their orders were impossible: retake a fortress city under total orbital lockdown. No reinforcements. No extraction. No surrender. He paused, letting the horror sink in. They succeeded. The holograms changed again, showing grainy battlefield footage, shaky and chaotic. Black armored soldiers charging through acid rain. Fires devouring the horizon. One voice screaming through static. "Hold the line. We're still breathing." And the human in the back of the class blinked. Once. Twice. He leaned forward, studying the image with quiet confusion. Then a faint smile crossed his face, the kind that carries equal parts memory and pain. "Wait," he muttered softly, "that's my team." A ripple of silence passed through the hall. The aliens turned to stare. The professor froze. But the human wasn't joking. He was remembering. He saw the ruins again. The rain. The smell of ozone and blood. He remembered the sound of his squad's laughter as they pushed into the impossible, the last transmission echoing in his mind like a ghost song. To him, it wasn't legend. It was Thursday. The professor, trembling, whispered, You served with the Butchers of Earth?" The human shrugged. "Served with them," he said quietly. "I led them." And the galaxy learned, once again, what it meant when a human stopped pretending to be small. Because the thing about humanity, the thing every empire, every AI, every god construct learned too late, was that humans didn't fight for conquest. They fought for each other. They fought for the ones who never made it back. That's what made them unstoppable. That's what made them eternal. The alien cadets watched as the human stood, his old uniform faint beneath his civilian clothes, the insignia of a unit that shouldn't exist anymore. He walked toward the podium. Toward the hologram of his own past. He didn't look proud. He looked tired. Haunted. But his voice, when he spoke, carried the quiet thunder of history itself. "We weren't butchers," he said. "We were farmers. We sowed peace wherever we could. But when the universe salted the earth..." He looked at the projection, cities burning under alien suns, and finished softly. We harvested war. The room stayed silent. The cadets didn't breathe. Even the professor, trembling beneath the weight of realization, couldn't find words. The human turned toward the door. Class dismissed, he said, walking into the light. Outside, the sky of Var'uun IX burned gold, 1,000 ships crossing the horizon, each one marked with the symbol of Earth Command. The butchers of Earth were gone, yes. But their children still carried the flame. And somewhere in the dark between stars, the universe shuddered, because the old war songs were being sung again. And so, the stars remembered the day humanity stopped being a myth, and became the warning.